scenery. We're out now in the middle of the old Terra Coupe prairie and wetland area. All this land from here over to the line of hills you can see to the west, a ways back to the east, and all the way north till we get up to 20. It's going to be a while before we get there. This is all the land, the 7,000 acres or so that are in the New Carlisle Economic Development Area.
How many acres did you say?
In the New Carlisle Economic Development Area now, there are about 7,000 acres. The Indiana Enterprise Center total master planning area calls for about 22,000 acres to be affected by a mix of industrial, commercial, and residential development.
My name is Dan Caruso. I'm a resident of New Carlisle, Indiana, and I am involved with the group that's in the middle of the fight against the Indiana Enterprise Center, trying to move into our area and take over our farmland.
Well, New Carlisle, the town, it's a unique little village. It should be valued for this feeling for the community that exists here. It's, you know, like when I say paved paradise, I'm serious. The farmland here is prime. It's some of the best in the state, and this state is about the best in the country.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, motion approved.
When I take my grandkids to Bendix Woods 20 years from now, I'd like to take them by farm fields and rolling hills and prairies, not asphalt and smokestacks. And we have an opportunity here to maintain what we have. This is some of the richest farmland in the country, and I don't know why we'd want to develop that. If you look at the history of St. Joe County, it is a farming community. And I just think that's forgotten. And I think that that needs to be looked at. So that's all. I said my piece.
I'm here because I'm concerned about the mega industrial complex, the Indiana Enterprise Center. I'm also concerned that this project continues to march on.
Yes, they want. It's the whole rural area is threatened. This development's talking about taking up to 22,000 acres.
Kind of line up back here
So we can see the signs around behind. Yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you all so much for coming out today. It's really wonderful to see so many folks here at the City County building to stop the IEC. My name is Chris Cobb, and I've been a member of OSA, the Open Space and Agricultural Alliance, since about this time last summer when we came together to start organizing to stop the IEC. I think I see some signs about that here. Everybody, hold those signs up so the cameras can see them all. Great. That looks awesome. Thank you.
Please, each person who is going to speak this evening, please sign in and please state your name and address before you speak for the record.
The reason that I'm here is because I'm from New Carlisle and my family's been part of New Carlisle since the horse and buggy days. There are many people out here that I have known since I was a small child. So we have a lot of folks here tonight and a lot of supporters. And I wanted to let you all know that there are plenty of other people who oppose this project, but quite frankly, they already believe that it's a lost cause. They believe that there's nothing that they can do because the people with the money will always win.
I've been here all my life, went to school, all the grades in New Carlisle, grew up spending a lot of time in my youth in New Carlisle because my grandparents lived in New Carlisle, both sets of them, and my parents worked and us boys were farmed out both ways, which was pretty neat because we grew up on the farm there in New Carlisle, and my grandparents had a 20-acre farm that he had. We had geese and raised cucumbers, so we got to help pick cucumbers when we were kids. Definitely against it. I don't feel it needs to be here. They're destroying a lot of good farms and good farmland. There's a lot of other areas where it could be better well suited.
Usually I have plenty to say, but it's hard for me to talk and not cry because we're used to seeing our
our kids they ride their off-road vehicles around here, and their horses are, like I say, they've all got horses, and they ride out here in the fields and around. And Shelby's got a little motorcycle she likes to ride. She runs down the irrigation lane with it and around. And
it's just, we're gonna miss, if something should happen, seeing our grandkids run across the fields and just the country life. We're even afraid now. We don't want them here. We want them to leave our lives and our children alone. Do they have to kill everything? They kill the ground, they kill the water, they kill the air. And they want to kill families too. Where are we going to go all together? We're so blessed that the Lord has blessed us that we can stay together as a family. We're a strong family, but they're ripping us apart. Not only us, but the other farmers. They have to kill everything, and they got to make their money.
This is an honor and a privilege to have our next POTUS. Coming from here, from South Bend, Indiana, we are finally on the map. At this point, I would like Mayor Pete, well known now as POTUS Pete, to take the honor to go ahead and speak with us.
Good afternoon, South Bend. Happy Solidarity Day and Happy Dingus Day.
Now, the same question on the IEC. yes or no? Do you support the IEC, yes or no?
No.
Dan?
To me, that's not a yes and a no question.
All right, you can expound on it.
That is a question that needs to be expounded upon. I am in favor of having a say as to what goes in out there.
Is there anybody that has not yet signed in to vote? Thank you. Husband with a K.
Well, thank you so much.
Sandra? At this point, I will share the results. Ken Cutter received 12 votes. Dan Caruso received 33. Dave Dahl received 41. And Daniel Vermillion received 15. The top vote getters were Daniel Caruso, Dave Dahl, and Daniel Vermillion. They will be your nominees.
I want to thank you all for turning out tonight. The meeting is going to start upstairs in about 15 minutes, so we should probably be heading up in about 5 minutes to get settled in and seated for the meeting. I just wanted to thank you all for coming and to say a few things about what we expect is going to happen tonight that you should be aware of in terms of how this is all going to work. Because we are coming proactively to the county council tonight, they don't have an agenda item that we're going to be speaking to. So we're going to be speaking from the privilege of the floor, which is the last part that happens in the meeting. Those of you who've been here before, you'll be familiar with that.
Well, a lot has been happening. A member of the group, Deborah Dural, had put in a Freedom of Information Act request back in June for emails and other documents from the Economic Development Division about the IEC, the Indiana Enterprise Center. So we began reviewing them in early September and mid-September. And what we found was that there was significant evidence in those emails showing that we had been being kept out, being stonewalled by the Economic Development Division.
And so we're going to give each of the candidates 5 minutes to kind of talk about what they're passionate about, what their focus is, and then we're going to have written questions from you all in the audience, and just so that we don't have 5 people asking basically the same question.
The county, I think, has put the future of all of that, of all of us, in the hands of some paid professional solicitors and developers, is the way I see it. You have the Redevelopment Commission, and they are taking our tax dollars and without even asking us, going out and soliciting these huge corporations to come in and bring their wares to our doorstep, not knowing if we even want them. It's the big government telling us what's good for us, and we should just sit down and allow the smart people to do what the smart people do. No.
I gotta say, the choice this year is pretty much going to be hard to pick 3 of the 5 because of the 5 of us that are up here. We are all very wary of this potential development out here, and we think things should go very slowly, and that the growth should be blended in with the community rather than, we have factories, we have IMTech, we have Tejas Tubular, we have the Energy Center, we have all that stuff out there. So for them to say that we are against that, is simply not true.
So the area that you see shaded in gray is 7,200 acres, and in a lot of cases it squares off some corners. It squares off some corners here and over here. One of the things that in a TIF district you generally do is you try to spend money within the TIF district. There are laws that allow you to spend money outside if it's in or serving the TIF district, but generally it's good to have everything within the TIF district that you're going to spend money on within the TIF district. So some little additions here, some squaring up some of the areas here based on road corridors and based on some utility lands, things like that. You know, well, I understand I'm assigned to do a job and you're assigned to represent people. I think the question becomes too is if you were to take a poll of the people in the audience, how many people live within the core development area? So there's maybe the opportunity for an unspoken voice.
Let's take a poll.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a fair number of people here from the core development area, but there are a lot of people that, as you look at the list from the last couple meetings, are from South Bend, are from town of New Carlisle, and while again we've made a commitment from day one to be supportive of the town of New Carlisle and to work with town of New Carlisle. That's why they had 3 seats on the executive committee and have been very engaged in the process.
Before we get started, I would just like to recognize and thank former council members Dan Vermillion and Ken Carter for their service and all the work they did, all the years they did it, and their dedication to our town.
Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street. I too congratulate the council, new and old. Jack said what I wanted to say. If anybody was at the last council meeting or the commissioners meeting where Bill Shalio pronounced that they now control the 21 acres at Willow and 2, and to she wasn't as representing the council, but I was so proud to see Marcy get up there and shaking and just look at Bill and say, can you use better language? Basically, get some finishing skills, because there are none there. And he showed his hand on what their plan is. Control all the land here and do with it what they want. So yes, please, what Jack said, ditto.
We should get started. The folks who have put their time into OSA, into protecting this land here in Northwest St. Joseph County, just the best, the steadiest, the most committed group of people, really just caring about this place so much. It just moves me every time I sit down to do anything that goes along with this project. It just makes me feel good and so happy that I know you all and that we're coming together to do this thing.
For those, and there weren't many, who were able to be at the council meeting, commissioners meeting, it was a council meeting that Marcy spoke at. This is all they're after is control. And whether they get to control that property and do something with it or something somewhere else, they're not going away. They'll keep coming back because this is what they do. They were hired to do this and they're going to come at it every way they can. And we, even when we beat them here, they're going to come back with something else, so we can't just say, okay, now we can go home and sleep and mind our own business. They're not going to let us mind our own business. We have to stay involved. So please, keep involved. We need as many people involved with us as possible.
My job is to set the table. We're gonna put all the pieces in place. If you don't ever wanna sell, you don't have to sell.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I mean, I would say, talk about willing seller, Wait, yeah. whoa, time out here. Well, one at a time, this gentleman has the floor. Sure. Willing seller and willing buyer. So, even if the farmer out there is getting desperate and realizing, that this is what is gonna happen and that they better get on board, even if it's, under the radar of their neighbors, which it's a sad state of affairs, if people feel like they're being put in that position. I'm not a willing buyer. You work for me, and you work for me. We should not be willing buyers. We should not be buyers. You're doing the wrong thing, Bill.
I could talk about this issue for endlessly. Not only because I'm an elected official, but also because I've been speaking about it for many years. The acreage, the quality of the farm. This is seed corn. America loves to eat. The only thing we're even exporting anymore is food. Farmers around the world cannot even farm if we don't make the seed corn here.
Go ahead and keep talking a little bit. We'll get in front of you.
You're very kind, thank you. Today we had a vote, and for the few people that, again, Dan, they gave a $25,000 contract. Shallow gave a $25,000 contract to somebody, and under services, it was undescribed. It said, for this vendor to meet with the county and determine what the goals are, and then act on the goals once they're determined. Who would ever pay $25,000 for that? Shallow. And what you hear with one ear is not what they're saying in the back rooms to their other people and the other staff. There's been a total misalignment of county resources and county productivity, and you're helping making it stop. These citizens, Open Spaces, Agricultural Alliance is helping make it stop, and your resolution is going to help make it stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jim Hevel. I live on Timothy Road here in New Carlisle, and my wife Sherry and I moved here in 1996, and like the gentleman who just spoke a minute ago, we wouldn't have moved here if we knew that someone was trying to turn New Carlisle into East Gary. Okay? I'm a businessman and I'm all about development and jobs. But why does it have to be something so objectionable? Why does it have to be something that is so polarizing? I'm just saying, why does it have to be smokestacks and sucking up our water and dirtying up our air? It doesn't have to do that. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to, we'll skip employee reports. We'll go on to old business and the IEC statement. I'm going to read this statement as loud as I can, and then we will entertain a motion to accept it as our stance, okay? The New Carlisle Town Council, the Olive Township Trustee, and the Olive Township Advisory Board value our existing relationships with various industrial partners and look to continue and strengthen those relationships. In seeking alignment of the IEC to the 2002 St. Joseph County Comprehensive Plan, the New Carlisle Town Council and Olive Township asked for a moratorium on the implementation of the Indiana Enterprise Center until its master plan reflects such alignment. We also request more meaningful and intensive public involvement in the IEC master planning process. Thank you. Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the IEC statement.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
My name's Randall James Clark, and I was born in New Carlisle, Indiana, and I graduated from New Carlisle High School in 1967. Currently, I own and operate an art gallery and a studio, and just enjoy my art and music and nature and the little town and friends and what's left of my family. Capitalism is not a bad thing, but I mean, nothing's either inherently good or bad. There's always two sides to a coin. But if capitalism requires destroying the environment and finite resources that can't be replaced, like land and water and air, it's not good. And it's not sustainable. We can't continue to do it.
So we have a chance right now to take another step towards winning this fight to stop the IEC and protect our farmland, our open space, and our communities. The Economic Development Division has finally, they started promising in June of 2018 that they were going to release the plan that was going to lay out how this Indiana Enterprise Center is going to be developed. So we need to take advantage of this opportunity that we've now opened up. Everybody go and comment. We want them to have thousands of comments from people all over St. Joseph County, but especially from the New Carlisle and all of township areas that are directly affected, making it very clear that this plan is the wrong place, the wrong size, doesn't do anything for the people who live here, threatens the aquifer, threatens irreplaceable farmland. The same issues that have always been with this plan that they have never been willing to acknowledge. So I encourage everybody who's moved about this to go and do that and do those things.
To what extent are we willing to say that the size of this item at 7,200 acres is possibly more than we need to get our job done? In other words, I think we got a problem here between a county that's not growing and kids that don't find enough jobs here, okay? And the facts are the county's not growing, so it's getting older. And the fact is, a lot of our kids can't find a job here. Those are facts, okay? So you kind of have a pull between the fact that you need to find some jobs for people so they can stay in St. Joe County and grow in St. Joe County, and the need for property that may infringe on what these people are concerned about.
Thank you, Council. My name is John DePillo. I live in the near northwest neighborhood, 701 Cushing Street. I just want to tell you a short story. I was here on Friday in this building. I ascended to the 11th floor to get my copy of a public document. I walked into the Development and Planning office, and when I asked the secretary for a copy of this document, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, the press release wasn't clear. There's not one for the people. There's one here in the office that you can read." I said, "You mean there's just one copy?" She said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, I'm running errands. I don't really have time." She said, "Well, I could make you a copy of this document for $3 a page." I said, "This is a public document?" She said, "Yes." I said, "You're telling me that you'll charge me $300 for something that already belongs to me?" And she said, "I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just the secretary." I said, "I understand. I appreciate. You've been very helpful. Maybe I'll come back." Can you guess what that document was? That one that we heard about tonight, which in it said that there are copies available for people. Yeah. That doesn't seem right to me. And when I went to get the copy of the document that already belongs to me, that I don't want to read online because I prefer reading something in hard print, I was told that that doesn't exist. So you were lied to at least once tonight, and I hope that it was no more than that. Thank you.
Sir, I'm gonna be honest with you. I take exception to the term lied to.
Perhaps it was disingenuous.
Well, that's a little bit. Okay. And, when you say disingenuous, I know what that word means, but that can be very, subjective, if you will.
You're right, President Moore.
But when you say you were lied to, I take exception to that. Lie, a little strong. That's all I gotta say.
Wow.
Please, so far this has been.
Yeah, it was logical.
Yeah, but logical or not, in your opinion, sir, all I'm asking is to refrain from the outbursts, please.